Welcome to the episode of What's Happening in Travel with Kusho and Kerwin. Kusho is not here this week. And this week, it's been a very interesting week in aviation. We're going to talk about, I guess, AI in travel. And we're also going to talk about the big story is the fires in Maui. But before we do that, I'm going through my photos and I found a photo of a sunrise in the Okavango Delta in Botswana. And the African sunrises are just amazing. The sunsets are equally amazing. So I thought I'd share that picture. And for those who are listening, it is of there's like water going all the way out, and then there's like a little land at the end, and the sun is rising. But if you want to see that, just take a look at the video, and you can the video is on YouTube, youtube.com/cruise and altitude, and you can take a look at it. So today's big news is the fires that are in Maui. And let me give you some information about that. I'm reading from Reuters, Reuters, and I'll read it because it makes it easier. So it says August 10th, wildfires on Hawaii's Maui Island and Big Island have killed dozens of people, forced thousands of residents and tourists in to evacuate, and devastated the historic resort city of Lahaina. Lahaina is on the west side of Hawaii. Here are some key questions and answers from the disaster. There's one question everyone asks is, how did the fire start? They actually don't know. It started on Tuesday night, and they have not yet determined how the fire started. The National Weather Service issued warnings for the Hawaiian Islands of high winds and dry weather conditions, which are ripe for wildfires. One of the things, as that picture I showed you in Africa, is they have wildfires as well, and these wildfires burn acres and acres of land. The thing, though, is that there isn't a lot of people living in these areas that are burning. And when we're driving through, we would just drive for miles, and the area is just scorched. And one of the interesting you'll see the area being scorched, and then you see like this magnificent green tree, and everything around it is burnt. So it's quite amazing how nature works. There are a little factor, nearly 85% of U.S. wildfires are caused by humans. According to the U.S. Forest Service, natural causes including lightning and volcanic activity also happens. The Hawaiian Islands have 6 active volcanoes, including one on Maui, and record-setting heat this summer has contributed to unusually severe wildfires in Europe and Western Canada. Scientists says that climate change, driven by fossil fuel use, has led to more frequent and more powerful extreme weather events. This is not a discussion of climate change. I'm just reading what Reuters had to say. What's driving the Hawaii wildfires? Wind from Hurricane Dora, hundreds of miles southwest of the Hawaiian Islands in the Pacific Ocean, have fanned the flames across the U.S. state, officials say. In addition to Dora, a low-pressure system to the west near Japan is also contributing to the high sustained winds. Dry vegetation is also a contributing factor. The spread of flammable non-native grasses such as guinea grass in areas of former farmland and forests have created large amounts of small, easily ignited materials that increase the risk and severity of fire. So that tells you what's causing these fires, or what's contributing to them, because they still don't know what's the exact cause of this particular fire. There's actually big fires in three spots. If you actually go to a map at Google, maps at google.com, and pull up Maui, you can see the spots where the fires are on the map itself, at least where the big ones are. So how does this relate to aviation? Well, Hawaii, it's summer and it's Hawaii, and it's a major travel destination. And so, like everywhere else, all the flights are full. And another friend, he and his family was going out there, and their flights got canceled when they got to Dallas, and they didn't. And now they've canceled their trip out there because they're using the airport as a staging area. Lots of airlines, Hawaiian Airlines and Southwest Airlines are flying between Maui and Honolulu, which is another. Honolulu is on Oahu, and they're flying between Kahului, which is the main airport in Maui, OGG, and Honolulu, HNL. And they're charging, it's like $19 for the fares to go between the two. And I think Southwest has fares to the mainland at for $179. Now, this is one of the reasons why you should get travel insurance. I'm going to go there. But the thing with travel insurance, it doesn't cover, some things may not be covered. So you need to check that. Check your credit card that you use to purchase your vacation and see if this type of event is covered under that. But you know, these things do happen from time to time. So make sure you check and see if you can recoup any of that. It's obviously it's burnt down quite. I think it's burnt down almost all of Lahaina. And so people's homes and livelihoods, and I think about at this point, 36 people have passed away as a direct result of the fires. So if you have a trip to Hawaii, call the airlines and call the hotel and see. I know some hotels are not allowing you to cancel your trip. So you may want to just call them and find out what's going on there. Same thing with the flights. The airlines are giving you an opportunity to book later flights. So yeah, the airlines that served Maui are like Alaska, United, Delta, American, Hawaiian Airlines, and Southwest. So call your airlines and check what you can do with your vacation. Pretty devastating what's going on in Hawaii. The next topic we have is AI, artificial intelligence. Now, there's been a lot of talk about AI. A lot of people in the travel industry are quote unquote not happy with AI because what it does is give you advice. And as travel information folks, for want of a better word, that's what we do. So you guys come to me and I give you an advice about, you say, hey, I want to go to Maui, for want of a better place, and I can give you information about Maui. And now with the AIs that are out there, you just go ask the AI and the AI will tell you what to do. I'd say 7 times out of 10, it's correct. One of the reasons is that one of the major engines, which is called ChatGPT, which I'm sure you've heard a lot about, that gives you information up until 2021. So it's not current because we're in 2023 at the moment. And so the information is not always current, but a lot of the information hasn't changed. So unless there was something that was built over the last 2 years, the information that you're getting is still correct, right? Or if it's changed. So a lot of my colleagues are upset about it. In my mind, I think it's a good thing. You can tell me what you think about AI in terms of travel or just in general. Most people would say it's going to replace your job. Well, every technology that has come in has replaced people's job. No matter what people tell you that it's not, it does. What happens is, though, is that the people who are doing the jobs that get replaced end up doing something else. So I'm going to give you some AI sources, including a new website that myself and another friend of mine created. It's called 10 in 24. And it gives you 10 things to do in 24 hours in any city. So what you do, you go to 10in24.com and you type in your city and you type in the country where the city is located, and it'll give you a list of things you can do, 10 things you can do in 24 hours. So go check it out and let me know what you think. Another tool that's out there is called Guide Geek. Now, Guide Geek is it's an AI, it's AI, and it's based on WhatsApp. So you go to Guide Geek, it asks you some information, and you get a new contact on a WhatsApp. And basically, you ask this contact, I'm in Maui, what do I do? I just arrived. How do I get from the airport to the city? It will be interesting to see what the response is when we have something like this going on. So I should check that out and see what it is. But these tools, they're quick and they are intelligent. There is so much going on in the AI space. And I think Expedia also has AI built in to what they're using to provide you information. And there are lots of applications that people are building to do that. So go check out 10in24.com and let me know what you think about this new application. And if you're using any other kind of AI in travel, feel free to pop me a note, feedback@passrider.com, and let me know what you think. I did also want to mention that Maui is not the only place that had wildfires this summer. Rhodes, which is one of the islands in Greece, also had similar issues earlier in the summer, and more than 19,000 tourists were evacuated. This was actually in July. So this is not unique to Hawaii. It's closer to home because we're all in the United States. But this did happen before. It says the weather-related issues affected other regions in Greece as well, not just Rhodes. The island of Corfu also evacuated travelers. One of the country's most iconic attractions, the Acropolis, had to be closed to visitors as temperatures in Athens soared to 111.2 degrees Fahrenheit, 44 degrees Celsius. It is actually pretty hot here in Texas, like 107 degrees today. So the crazy weather around the world is not just affecting places here in the US. Now they say actually that Rose is back. They're pleased to announce that the operational state of emergency had expired on the island of Rose. Life is now returning to normal for the entire island of Rose, including a few areas that were affected. Greece relies heavily on the tourism industry, with 18.5% of its national GDP coming from travel. So this is not, unique to the United States. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, this stuff happens in Africa as well. And the next story is about Concorde. Now, Concorde has been sitting in the Intrepid, on the Intrepid, what do you call that, aircraft carrier in New York for 20 years. Didn't realize it's been there that long. And it's kind of beat up. I was just in New York. I didn't get a chance to go see, but I'd seen it on prior visits. And apparently the paint is really beat up and all that. And so they moved it on, I guess, yesterday. They moved it from where it is at the Intrepid Museum to the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And we're in about, I guess, 6 months or so. It's going to be refurbished. So they're going to take up all the paint, I guess, sandpaper it, for want of a better word. And then they're going to repaint it back in the British Airways colors and look nice and spanking new. And while it's gone, they're going to refurbish the pier where it was sitting. So that's going to be nice and new for it to come back. I flew Concorde actually 20 years ago in October. I did a flight from Toronto Pearson to JFK. It was a repositioned flight that had flown from London to Toronto, and then it was going to do Toronto to JFK, and then JFK back to London. And I was able to get that tag flight in the middle. It cost about 1,000 Canadian at the time, and it was one of those flights that was very, 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 very good. 100 people on this airplane, and we did break Mach, which we're not supposed to, but they by the time the captain pulled back the stick and well, not back the stick, but throttled back, we blew through Mach, and then we came back. So just for a few seconds, I flew above the speed of sound. So it's kind of, the one I flew is not the one that they're refurbishing now. It is the one that is in Seattle. So if you go up to Seattle at the museum at Boeing Field, that's the one that I flew in. There's also one in Barbados. It's still in this hangar, and they can't quite get it together to start showing it. And I wish they would, because I really do want to see that one. But it's there. It's in a hangar. If you go to Barbados, when you come out of customs and immigration, or if you're departing, it's on the left. If you're departing, it's on the left side. If you're arriving, it's on the right side. And it's across in the parking lot. You see the big hangar, and it says Concorde on it. But you can't go visit it just yet. They even have a little thing that says, "Hey, we got Concorde," but you can't go see it. It's a little model of Concorde's also there. Um, another Concorde is there's an Air France one. There's actually two. One is the first one that was built for the Air France, and one is another one that was taken from the fleet. It's inside a building, and you can actually walk through it. And I think I have a video or something I can add as a link, so you can see that. So that's what's going on with Concorde. They're moving it. So if you go to New York looking for it, you won't be able to see it because it's in the Brooklyn Navy Yard and they're fixing it up. So that's it for that story. And our last topic for today is that Virgin Galactic took, I think it's its first voyage up with, I guess, regular people. Two of the ladies are actually from Antigua, or has Antigua heritage. And there was a gentleman who he had paid for his trip a long time ago. And there's a lady who's an Olympic athlete, I think it was. But this happened on the 10th. So that was actually quite the feat. I had seen this the transport a long time ago, but I think the original thing was done by, I think, Bert Rattan, if I'm not mistaken, and they had the transporter because it goes up on this airplane, and then the thing is underneath it, and then when it gets to wherever it needs to go, it separates, and then it flies around, goes on the edge of space enough for you to be weightless. Then you're there for like 2 minutes, and then it returns to Earth and it lands like a regular airplane, which is kind of cool. So that was done today. So it'll be interesting. I don't know. Do you want to go to space? I know now is kind of a novelty and it's very expensive. And I think the two people from Antigua who went, they won some kind of lottery that they had way back when. So it's very cool, to see like normal people go up to space. And these are 4 normal people that went up to space this time. So that's kind of cool. So let me know what you think about that. Going out into space, and would you do it? I mean, I sure would if I had the opportunity. Matter of fact, one of my friends went out and he covered the event, so it'll be good to see his information on Instagram. I think his tag is Chris Flyer. So that's all I got for this week. Pretty short and pretty sweet. Hope you guys have a good week and a good time whenever you fly again. Remember that it's summer, and a lot of schools have already started, at least here in Texas. Some started this week, others will start next week. And so if you're coming into the US as an airline employee, you're gonna have a lot of issues because the flights are going to be full because everybody's going back home. if you're going out, you're good. Just when you're coming back, you're gonna have issues. So that's all I got for this week. This is Kerwin with FastRider.com and cruisingaltitude.com. Whenever you go flying, enjoy the flight and have a great week.